Hey everyone, welcome back to English with Maddie. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you study for 1 hour and then check your phone for 5 hours? Be honest, because yeah, I used to do that too. If this sounds like you, stay with us. Today, we're talking about study habits. How you study, when you study, and what works for you. And trust me, we're going to keep it simple, fun, and full of useful English phrases you can use in real life. Before we start, don't forget to follow the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and leave a comment so more people can find us. All right, let's get into it. I'm your host, Matty, and with me, like always, is the amazing Sarah. Hey Sarah, how are you today?
Hi, Masty. Hi, everyone. I'm good. Excited and ready to talk about studying, which is something everybody loves, right?
Sure. Everyone totally loves studying.
Exactly. Anyway, let's help our listeners study better and learn English at the same time.
Okay, Sarah, let's start simple. When you were a student, were you a good student?
Well, I was good at some things, like reading, but terrible at other things, like waking up early. My study habit was sleep first, study later.
That sounds like 90% of people I know.
Exactly. What about you, Masty? Did you have good study habits when you were younger?
Honestly, sometimes yes, sometimes no. I had a bad habit. I always said, I'll study later. And later usually meant never. All right, let's talk about study routines. Sarah, do you think having a daily routine is important?
Yes, very important. A routine helps your brain know what to expect. For example, I like to study at the same time every day, usually in the morning.
Me too. And I think beginners should learn these simple phrases. I study in the morning. I study at night. I study after work. I study before bed.
Right. Listeners, try to choose one time and stick to it. Even 20 minutes a day is enough if you do it regularly.
Now, let's talk about study places. Sarah, where do you like to study?
Anywhere quiet. I can't study when people are talking. I like a clean desk, good light, and a cup of coffee.
Exactly. Your study place affects your focus. For example, I study at my desk. I study in the library. I study in a cafe. I study in my room. What about you, listeners? Think about where you study best.
We also need to talk about study tools. Some people study with books, some use apps, some take notes. What about you, Madi?
I love taking notes. When I write something, I remember it better.
Same. Here are useful sentences. I take notes. I highlight important words. I use an app. I watch videos.
And for English learners, watching podcasts like this one helps too. Okay, Sarah, now let's talk about the problems. Everyone has bad study habits. What's yours?
My biggest problem is procrastination, delaying things. I always say, I'll start in 5 minutes, but the 5 minutes becomes 50 minutes.
I feel this on a spiritual level. For me, my bad habit is checking my phone too much. Every time I study, my brain says Instagram, Instagram, Instagram.
Yep, that's a classic. But listeners, learning English becomes easier when you put your phone far away, turn off notifications, and use a timer, like 25-minute study plus 5 minutes break.
Now let's talk about good study habits, things that actually help. My favorites, short sessions, reviewing old lessons, and speaking out loud.
Yes, and here are simple English phrases to talk about them. I study for 20 minutes. I review my notes. I repeat words out loud. I practice every day.
I also like the reward system. If I study for 30 minutes, I reward myself with chocolate.
Same here. Chocolate is the best motivation.
All right, listeners, repeat after us. Let's practice speaking.
Say it with us. I study in the morning. I study in a quiet place. I use an app to learn English. My bad habit is checking my phone.
Great. Speaking out loud helps build confidence.
Here are some useful words for today's topic. 1. Habit, something you do often. 2. Routine, your daily plan. 3. Focus, when you pay attention. 4. Review, study something again. 5. Procrastinate, delay something. 6. Highlight, mark important words. 7. Note, something you write to remember.
Let's give examples. I have a bad habit of going to bed late. My morning routine is coffee plus studying. I can't focus with noise. I review my lessons every day. Don't procrastinate. Start now.
Okay, listeners, imagine you're meeting a friend.
I'll be your friend. Let's practice. Hey, when do you study English?
I study in the evening.
Where do you study?
I study at my desk.
What's your study problem?
I check my phone too much. Good job, everyone. Let's quickly review what we learned today. How to talk about your study routine. How to describe where and when you study. Good and bad study habits. Vocabulary you can use every day. A short role play and quiz to practice.
And remember, studying English doesn't need to be stressful. Small steps every day will take you far.
Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the podcast, subscribe to English with Madi on YouTube, and share this episode with a friend who wants to learn English.
We'll see you again in the next episode. Keep learning, keep smiling.
Take care, everyone, and keep studying smart.